everyone, welcome to my Allotment Diaries. My name is Emma, these are my Allotment Diaries. I would love you to follow my YouTube channel for lots of allotment tips and inspiration, and probably more what nots to do's than what to do's. That didn't make sense, but I think you know what I'm saying. There are lots of other ways to follow me just below as well in the description bar, so go and check it out. Go and check it out. Not my finest intro, but there we go, it is what it is. I'm just staking my tomatoes in here, which didn't die overnight. Always a good thing when a plant doesn't die overnight and you just put it in. I know a lot of you are quite nervous about putting out these sort of like semi-hardy annuals. Such a child. Yeah, a lot of you are quite worried about putting these out. I always used to get really nervous about putting plants like this out because I was convinced that they would just die straight away, like just plonk them in the ground dead. And sometimes they do that, but this time they haven't, and I think the point is you just need to whack it out because plants want to grow. Thank you for all the tomato advice as well. There is so much tomato advice out there. Like, you can grow tomatoes in like 1,000 different ways, I think. This is just the way that I've done it. I know I've gone through the cardboard, I know I haven't planted them deep enough, but you know what, with tomatoes normally they just survive, so fingers crossed they'll survive. There we go, so you can see they're all staked now, so hopefully they'll grow up stakes. Like I said last time, I did do string with them, but I just felt that the string went a bit loose, and tomatoes are quite big, heavy plants, especially when they get all their tomato fruit on them, so you've got to sort of stake them really well, I think. A lot of you also mentioned about the fact that I put this weed membrane down means that there's not a lot of, I'm like wasting a lot of space around. I think I will probably put some things like marigolds in and stuff like that around it, and maybe even some basil, because basil grows really well with tomatoes, and I will do that. I'll just cut more holes, that's what I'll do. So definitely feels a little bit odd cutting holes in order to plant something, but I really just think this will keep the weeds away. And at the back of my plot here there's just so many weeds, so fingers crossed, and then we'll see how this goes without it, really. It's all one big experiment gardening anyway, isn't it? So we'll see how it goes. It's really hot in here and I'm getting a lot of flies as well, like a lot of flies. A lot of people saying to put sticky stuff in here to catch the flies, but I don't really want to catch them. Like, I just want them to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want like a fly, I don't know, like a fly massacre. There's just loads of them. They just love it in here. They just love it. I don't think they'll damage the plants, but if they do start to damage the plants, then I'll have something to say about them then. We had rain yesterday for the first time in a long time. I think it's been one of the driest Aprils in the UK on record, but we actually got rain last night, a really good amount as well, so everything has just been doing really well. Everything looks really happy and healthy, do you know what I mean? And these peas have really shot up. I think it's probably the rain that's done it. Unfortunately all the weeds have also popped up, but we'll have to sort those out. That's just part of life, I'm afraid. But yeah, finally I feel like the peas are finally getting off the starting spot, whatever it's called, the starting step. But yeah, they're really like going for it now, and they're getting really tall, and they look a little bit healthier. I always say a lot of like growing your own is basically slug and snail like protection and just protecting your plants and stuff, but it's like when they're the smallest, that's when you have to protect them. As soon as they get going, they can sort of withstand a little bit of attack, so they're doing really well now. Just wanted to show you this prime example of a piece of bindweed and what bindweed actually does. And if you have it at your allotment plot, it's a pain in the neck, but you have to get rid of it because it just kills your plants. So you might be able to see how the bindweed has just literally wrapped itself around this pea plant, and that's what bindweed does. It uses other plants to pull itself up, wraps itself around the plant, strangling it, and it tries to get up towards the light and take over the whole plant, so it will just strangle and smother the plant, basically. See, never be fooled into thinking the plant world is kind or like just beautiful and pretty. It's not. There's a really deep, dark, evil, like underground world to the world of plants. Excuse the pun in that, I'm sure there's a pun somewhere. As soon as the sun comes out, all the tools come out, don't they? All the power tools. God's sakes. I believe this here is Californian Poppies, and I'm inclined to leave them alone because they are beautiful flowers. I planted them a couple of years ago and now they're just popping up everywhere. They're a bit weedy really because they just grow anywhere, but they're really good for bees. I think that's what this is. I'm pretty convinced that this is basically, yeah it is, look, I can see that's the flower. That is the flower. Yeah, brilliant. So I'm going to leave that as Californian Poppies there. That's a really good bunch. I might take these ones up though, because these are in the middle of my turnips, which are doing really well. I might have to thin these. I'm not very good at thinning things, that's the thing. The thing is, I'm not good at thinning, but I really think they need thinning if they're going to turn into turnips, because turnips need quite a lot of room. I'm going to try and thin them, i.e. kill them. So, I think with turnips, they're about that big. I think, like that big. So I think they probably need like that much room in between each one. That's the logic anyway. So what we'll do is we'll just start pulling a few of the weaker ones out, like that one. I hate doing this, I feel like I'm killing them. I mean, I am killing them because I'm pulling them out and saying, you're in the wrong place, sorry mate, you're dead. It's quite a cruel world. I say plants can be cruel, but we can be quite cruel to them as well, I think. I think you can replant them when you pull them up, if you pull them up with all the roots. I know they don't like the roots being disturbed and they might die, but I might just try and replant a couple. I don't feel like being a mass murderer today somehow. Like intentionally, you know. Sometimes it happens. I just realised I don't have a working shovel, so I have to work with what we've got. So what I do have is this. So we're going to have to work with this. Right, so think about it. So that's there, that's a weed. That can come out. You're a weed, mate. You're out of here. Somebody told me that this is actually a trowel, not a spade, but I call it a spade because it's just like, you know what I'm saying when I say spade, don't you? I'm saying this, but with a handle. Normally it would have a handle, but I broke it. Alright. Right, that's quite a good root system, so maybe I can replant that. I've got quite a few roots on that, so I'm wondering if I can replant it. That's the idea now. I mean, they'd probably die, but if I was a doctor in a hospital and I was like operating on someone, I wouldn't be like, oh, you'll probably die, we won't bother. You know, I'd probably just do it anyway, so that's what I'm doing really. Not that I'm a doctor, but I do have these plants' lives in my hands, so we're quite similar really. Just thought I would show you that my dahlias are coming back up. I didn't dig them up last year because I couldn't be bothered, to be honest, and I thought I'd kill them. So what I did was I mulched them instead, and now they're starting to grow again, so it definitely worked. They're doing the same thing in my back garden at home as well. So this one's coming up, and then just over here through all the weeds, this one's coming back up too, which is really good. And then I did have a third one, but I can't see that one just yet. There's still hope though, because these two have come up. Amazing, so healthy as well. I think dahlias get bigger every year as well, so they're going to be some big plants. I've only got 3 in here and I think that'd be plenty. And then all my gladiolus are coming up at the front as well, which is so beautiful. And these are definitely multiplying every year. I'm just getting more and more. But yeah, they're fantastic. I've got so many of them coming up all along the front here, so could do with a weed, but it's going to be beautiful. Right, that's that's me done today, so I'm going to be heading home now. I hope you enjoyed the vlog today. If you did, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will be back again on Monday with another exciting allotment update. I'm going to be planting out my pumpkins next week as well, and so stay tuned for that if you're following along with my Grow a Pumpkin archway. And if you want to whack them out this weekend, feel free. It's now May, it's beautiful weather. Hopefully we're going to be on the up with the temperatures, so feel free to whack everything out now, guys. Don't be afraid, and I will see you again on Monday. See you next week, guys. Bye.